Postage officer, it's all about moderation. Moderation officer, you know. Me and my father. Me and my father, we were poorer than poor, Stephen. And all we had to keep us going in a wee flat in Glenwadrick was a sachet of powdered rat. And I have to say, Stephen, they were some of the best days of my life. You know, Billy Connery, and a welder, you know. It is like the ghosts of Glasgow's past, calling you out to live your life and live it full measure. That's Brian Lemon, if you're not aware, one of the greatest fucking comedic brains to ever exist on the same existential plane as us mere mortals. That is his skits. He wouldn't like you call them skits. Fucking great guy. Search up Brian Lemon if you're not from the British Isles and be initiated into a world of sheer comedic fucking pleasure. Can you hear that fan?
It's the only fan we've got, John. Hello and welcome to this Monday's edition of Movie News here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. I don't know why I'm doing that because
it's over there, Steve.
We do rate both of them highly, but we are predominantly here on YouTube reading the comments.
Let's say John, that to the Twitch viewers, Stephen, but predominantly on Twitch as well. Look at my t-shirt, incidentally. Just came back to my childhood. We were speaking about this incredibly large boxy t-shirt with the sleeves just going on for fucking miles.
I've got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in my head now, John.
Yes, Steve, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's a good
I'm going back to my childhood. I've just gone through a 90s vibe.
Yeah, why not? The Bermuda shorts will be coming out soon as well.
Hi, Ruth. Already got them. They're over there.
Hi, Ruth. How you doing?
Hello, Ruth.
Nice to see you once more. And I was actually just going to mention what we were doing on Friday night with our good friend Ruth Aaron. We were reviewing 96. It was a great review, John. I thought it was a great breakdown, great discussion.
First A grade I've gave
first
to
A, yeah.
Movie,
we had a few comments about that. A lot of people very happy about the way it was graded, and I think it was as well, very justified. Vijay, Sefi Pafi and Trisha was just immense, John. I can't wait to see more of their films, individual films that is. I don't know if they've done any other films together.
Well, she's worked with Telepathy, because we spoke with Ruth, and Ruth confirmed that they have indeed worked together.
But this Friday, John, we're doing Sarpata Paramabarai, so I can't wait to do that. I struggled there, John.
I once called this movie when we were reacting to it on a bum run. That's what I'm going to call it.
Right, it was a bum run.
I called it Parambarai.
Yeah.
I says Parambarai.
It's all about the roll of the tongue. Sometimes I think we struggle with that. Yeah.
Stephen, we shouldn't struggle with it. We are one of the few countries on the world, including Spain, that roll with ours very effectively. Yeah. McLaughlin, that doesn't even make sense because there's no R's in it. McRainer. Rangers. I fucking hate him.
Sarpata Paramabarai.
We roll with ours very effectively, Stephen. Dantooine is far too remote a system.
John, I'm going to stop doing it just now because there's a lot of R's in the next article I'm going to be talking about, and I don't want to do that. We are talking
Loch as well, Steve. We speak like the Dutch.
We do. We're very close to the Dutch, John, and I'm pretty sure you can check back on your ancestry website. You have some Dutch in there.
I checked back my ancestry website. I have Frisian. Which is West German Dutch ancestry. Frisian.
Makes sense.
It does.
It makes perfect sense.
We all live around the North Sea.
Yeah.
And we're West European, so it makes sense that I have some form of ancestry.
We've all got a fondness for beer. sausages.
Steve, we are the fucking Dutch.
Yeah.
Us and the Dutch are the same people.
Same
I've been
people,
to Holland.
yeah.
Fucking amazing place.
John, I don't know
so
what it
way
is,
back.
but my mic is dripping here. I have to.
Yeah,
just
mine was the same, Steve.
put it up a little
You
bit.
really have to tighten it.
Really hefty.
Really have to tighten that there. Hefty, yes.
Hefty, yeah.
Hefty.
Anyway, let's go on with this
Let me
show.
get my Dutch out.
We're talking about Matt Damon, and Matt Damon thinks superheroes and streaming are ruining movies. Matt Damon has opened up about
Stephen, superheroes and streaming ruining movies.
Yeah, that is more of a question. Yeah, Matt Damon has opened up about the challenges that modern cinema faces, specifically the prevalence of superhero movies and streaming services. This coming in from Screen, and I'm just going to read a little bit before his quote here, just to sort of build up the tension. And then, yeah, it's just it's that's it. Yeah, just that
the Sunday Times.
Yeah. After consistently remaining somewhat absent from superhero franchises since their start, Matt Damon has stated that he feels the combination of streaming services and superhero movies is ruining the industry in some ways. His recent comments came during an interview with the Sunday Times, lamenting that his children are more interested in their phones than films.
That's life, Matt.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame streaming services or superhero movies for that. It's just society.
You blame Steve Jobs for that.
Yeah, but he said this, John. The way they watch is different to how we did. How can you watch a movie if you are texting? As someone who makes these things, I can't say I love that. Movies as we know them aren't going to be a thing in our kids' lives, and that makes me sad. That's absolutely nothing to do with that actual headline. I think that's a bit misleading, John, because he's not actually saying it. Well, he's actually talking about society more than anything here. You know, I could go on and on.
Movies as we know them aren't going to be a thing in our kids' lives. What fucking nonsense
he does
is that,
he does say in the further down, John, though, Damon then spoke about how plummeting home video sales in the face of ever-growing streaming options lead studios to make films with more international appeal, thereby giving rise to the superhero phenomenon. It makes the most profitable movie, one that could travel around the world, and if you want a movie to travel and play big, you want at least amount of cultural confusion. So there is the rise of the superhero movie, right? They're easy for everyone. You know who the good person is, who the bad person is. They fight 3 times and the good person wins twice.
Never seen that in a superhero movie, I've got to be honest.
John, it's how it's handled though. You see Infinity War, that's a good example. It's not like that. You know, but in the end, I suppose he does say, you know, the good guys will win. Well, that's what makes them feel good films, Matt. But that's what makes any films good. You know, they're all different, you know, and there's room for all. There is room for all. I don't think he's been heavy-handed here, John. I don't think he's exactly going down the same road as your man from the other week there.
Stephen Dorff.
Yeah, Dorff, yeah. I don't think Dork. I don't think he's going down that road of slating the films. I think he's just stating a fact, you know, in the
Meg Ryan,
the way of today. But I do agree with the whole texting thing, John.
Yeah.
Kids these days. When I was a kid, you know, it was all fields around here. You know, we had full concentration when we were watching movies. I don't think the attention is there now.
Stephen, you say that, but if I'm going down a Weezer fucking obsession just now, I'm absolutely hooking into Weezer and Rivers Cuomo in particular. I fucking love a guy. I think he's cool as hell. Don't know why I missed this band. I was aware of Buddy Holly because of you, Stephen, of course. You introduced him to me, but I went down a rabbit hole. And speaking about that, actually, the distractions in modern day life, but how people conveniently forget the distractions in the 90s and before. Obsession with magazines and reading newspapers, looking into newspapers, avoiding contact with other human beings. So it's always been there. It's always been in the human condition.
I get that. There's always something
on steroids just now.
Yeah, I think so, John. I think it's the convenience more than anything of instant news, isn't it? And instant information.
And people are just anxious now, Steve.
John, I used to read Q magazine all throughout the 90s, which was still runs. I've not bought it probably since the early 2000s. When this had Robbie Williams on the front cover, and I went, I'm not buying that again. If Robbie Williams on it, that's supposed to be a incredible music magazine. But I think it didn't put me off my viewing, but I did like to read.
You're saying that Robbie wasn't credible?
No, I was a dickhead. But Fat Dancer from
watch his Nebworth concert?
No,
Stephen, I did. I can't lie. My dad's a big fan of Robbie Williams. I was never much of a fan of him. Good showman in his defence. Not so great.
I'll go to the circus if I want to see a good showman.
Yes, exactly. Go and watch Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron. Not much of a great singer. An average voice lived off the fame of one song, really, Angels. And
which is completely the chord structure I hated.
And Stephen, incredibly disappointed to find out that he turned up in the second It's Coming Home video. That seemed to brush that out of my mind when I was a little kid and seen that.
I can't remember that.
I remember the sponge creating the World Cup with obviously a young man whose name I'm completely fucking blanking on, the incredible Frank Skinner.
And David Baddiel,
but we're speaking about this today actually. The actual the voices, the names that evade you when you're doing shows, and just in general life at times, how your brain just fucking fogs over, and how I forgot Robbie Savage's name.
Constantly got IMDb up because of that condition.
Well, I've gone off on a tangent, but I forgot that Robbie Williams was in that video. The fucker invades everything. But Steve, where were we going with that? Robbie Williams, Q Magazine, 1990s, Distractions. Distractions. It is an issue, and when you actually go to view now and watch the movies, John Boyega does a great precursor to the actual movie on the whole modern day life and distractions, and it's an amazing fucking trailer. The music's incredible. It sort of builds. He's on the set getting sprayed and then he runs away. People are on their phones. It's like a dad walking out his front door with a pizza slice. There's phones everywhere. And he basically says, switch off your phone. If this is what it's like, enjoying something in a little phone, imagine what it would be like in a darkened theatre. 2 hours, no distractions. And Stephen is right. Yeah. That's why streaming, and we spoke about this before with sort of the podcast we did with Bartek back in, I don't know when that was, a good while back, 6 months ago.
February time,
Yeah. We were speaking about distractions and how it impacts your enjoyability, is that even a fucking word? I don't know, of movies and watching them. It's different watching it in a theatre to in your house on a TV.
Yeah.
You've got distractions, you're writing things. I have a natural tendency to start writing notes down, and I have to keep pausing the movie.
The whole
and
experience
it destroys the experience. Wow. When you're in the theatre, you're just enveloped. You're in darkness. You're at one with the creator and his vision.
Just the whole experience is memorable. I remember going to see Empire Strikes Back in the old ABC cinema in Sucky Hall Street in Glasgow.
It's an absolute classic.
And just the sound. It's the sound that stayed with me. Those TIE fighters, just flying right over your head. It felt like.
Yep.
You can't get that on a small screen.
You can't, and that's why ultimately streaming can only go so far for me. It can grow and grow and grow, but for them to really connect with me after that, they have to start opening up or having deals with theatres and getting their content out into theatres. And we're already really seeing that. I think Netflix have bought over a theatre in LA. I think Amazon, it's inevitable that they'll have their own theatre chain or something.
Yeah.
They'll take over a smaller chain and use theirs. Because Stephen, people connect with digital content, but ultimately I think there's still a sizable amount of the population love going to the theatres, getting a popcorn,
appreciation,
and just experiencing it. Some people fucking hate it because there's a lot of obnoxious people they share the space with. I've never experienced that personally, apart from that little fuckwit kid in Return of the Jedi. Or not Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Fucking no, it was Revenge of the Sith. Screaming the whole movie.
Yeah, ruined it. Yeah.
So apart from that, most of the time I go to theatres, it's pretty damn decent. And people are pretty obedient.
Because most of the people that go to the theatres are taking the time to go to the theatre in the first place, and they want that experience. Expensive. I mean it's probably not a good example when we went to see Tenet because the theatre was practically empty, but you have been in theatres, John, where it's been jam packed,
absolutely full. I remember going to see Star Wars, and
the Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight fucking packed.
It was silent though. It was absolutely silence.
Dean, I've never had an issue in a theatre. Never, apart from that Revenge of the Sith. Never. Full theatres. No one. Not a sound. Nothing. No arse wipes. But I'm sure if you go to Parkhead or something like that, in a specific night, the Ned element.
Have you got any pet hates about the cinema though, John? About people?
It fucking smells. It smells, Stephen. People smell. Some people just smell horrendously. And they've got no right leaving the house, let alone going to a theatre. So it's the smells. I say that I enjoy the communal experience sharing a movie with like-minded individuals, but when said like-minded individual
depends what
BO or horrendous bad breath,
could be hot dogs.
Could be hot dogs. No, it's definitely BO. It's not good. But Stephen, that can
my
be
pet hate is people turning up late. I hate that.
Oh fuck yeah.
I cannot stand that. I'm like, they've clearly tried to miss the whole adverts
trailers,
and the trailers and all that, and just want to sit and
but
I get
you can
that.
Time that, Stephen. 20 minutes.
Or don't bother, just come in and do what the rest of us do and sit through those horrendous adverts.
That's it, Stephen. I sometimes like watching trailers. You get a vibe
I like
for
trailers,
the movie.
But it's when they're telling you to go and buy stuff at the shop
No, I don't do that. As you know, Stephen, it's too fucking dear. I go and get the popcorn out of Asda.
Yeah.
It connects onto View. And it's sweet and salt. It's sweet and salt.
Yeah.
And I get my Coke.
It's the same stuff, yeah.
It's the same fucking stuff. Half the price. I walk in and I wrap my popcorn. Nobody ever says anything. There's still this myth that you can't go into a theatre with pre-bought stuff. You had to put it in a bag.
My great uncle,
well,
my dad's uncle Frank, he was the like the commissioner. I don't know what the actual title of his job was at the old I try at Muir End cinema. And when my mum and dad were just going out, they would go on dates to his cinema. He would bring them in fish suppers.
Fish suppers?
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's
sake. Fish suppers.
That'd be a great...
and it was winding everybody up because they all loved the smell of fish suppers.
Steve, that's
fish and chips, by the way.
That's another fucking thing. When I used to go to the theatre in Parkhead, who used to sell these fucking tackles. People walking in with tackles. Fucking tackles. Come on.
Yep.
Popcorn, a little bit of chocolate or something, a drink.
They used to I don't know if they do that now. Well, they don't do it now because of COVID. But
they're still selling popcorn and stuff like that.
Yeah, popcorn, yeah.
There's people taking the mask off and getting tore into popcorn, Stephen. Fucking young people.
John, you've seen that X-Files episode, the one where the popcorn's tainted and it eats their face. It's some kind of chemical. Hope that happens to them.
They don't care, Stephen, they're young.
But I don't know if you've got anything else to say about Matt Damon.
Yeah, Stephen, about the whole superhero thing, I can understand what you're saying. We've spoken about this before.
I think it's too black and white, though, what he's saying. The whole good versus evil thing. It is, you know, the bare bones is that. But
it is that, but Steve,
it's a back and forth kind of thing,
He's completely doing a disservice to Kevin Feige, a guy that's employed him twice via Taika Waititi.
Yep.
He's been involved in the superhero movie making experience with a great director in Taika Waititi. You should know fucking better that there's more going on under the surface than just good versus evil. They fight 3 times and at the end the hero wins. It's a little bit more nuanced and deliberate than that. There's lots of stuff going on to build up to that epic sort of Endgame Infinity War finale. You've got the evolution of Tony Stark. You've got Captain America immersing himself in this world, acquiescing. You've got lots of different characters, moving pieces. And then you've got genres within genres that are starting to get explored. The likes of Logan, we've seen that. We're doing standalone villain movies now over in the Sonyverse. We've done it with Todd Phillips' Joker. So there's a little bit more to superheroes. And if he's that unhappy with the rise of superhero movies and pining away and paying about the actual cinema that he loved back in the day prior to the rise of superhero movies, there's one simple thing for it, Stephen. Go and write a screenplay, I can't even think, and fucking put out a movie that's good enough to dethrone the superhero movies.
Well, I don't think he's going to dethrone superheroes, John, but I think the film,
if the movie's good enough, Stephen,
Stillwater sounds like a great film, John. I do want to go and see that.
Well, Stephen, you think
very interesting.
You think of that, but James, I was about to say James. We'll just say James Cameron because I don't know him. James Cameron is not a superhero movie maker, but he creates independent stories. You can love them, hate them, but they fucking dethrone superhero movies. Titanic, Terminator movies, they weren't about also superhero movies at this point, but if he was to release those movies today, they'd still be fucking massive, and they'd still dethrone a superhero movie.
True Lies as well, didn't he? Yeah.
Stephen, he consistently makes great individual movies that are good enough to go toe to toe with these big franchises. You need more directors with originality, new ideas, creating interesting stories, interesting films. If people connect with it, they'll go and see it. We've said it time and again, superhero movies are on the rise just now. They're having their cycle. It's cyclical. They'll go away and we'll have the rise of rom-coms again, I'm sure of it. And your new Hugh Grant can come out and your new Meg Ryan can come out. Then we may even have the rise of horror again. It never goes away, but it may be a big thing. It's all cyclical. They're pining away for cinema that really was never there, Stephen. There's always been big blockbuster movies. Your Jurassic Park, Independence Day, fucking stupid movies that made big money.
Jaws.
And they always done better than movies like fucking up and coming great independent movies. Stephen, you can't tell me Shawshank Redemption, for instance, or I'm trying to think of another example, Schindler's List made more money than Independence Day or any of the Jurassic Park movies.
Exactly.
Come on. And they're much better movies. The eyeballs are attracted to populist genres. That's always been the case and it'll always be the case. Jaws, fucking populist horror movie. Star Wars, Star Trek, come on, Back to the Future. They're kind of that zany, enjoyable popcorn kind of genre. Done intelligently, of course. Fucking get a grip, Matt.
Get a grip. Matt Damon. Anyway, John, we're going to move on to our next topic, and it's coming in from Screen Rant once more. And I'm going to say her name, I'll probably butcher it, but it's Ana de Armas.
I'll just say Ana de Armas.
Yeah, sounds great.
It's the same.
But she's doing Marilyn Monroe biopic.
I can't see Marilyn.
And it's pushed back. pushed back to 2022, John.
What a shame.
I asked you, did we cover this? I wasn't sure.
I think we did cover it, Stephen.
I know we did the Aretha one, we did the Elvis one.
Maybe didn't do it.
I don't know. Maybe we did.
Stephen, I was actually surprised. We'll get to it. We'll get the photographs.
Yeah, well, John,
absolutely fucking unbelievable.
An absolute belter of a photograph coming up. But the Netflix film Blonde, directed by Andrew Dominic and starring Ana de Armas as screen legend.
It's called.
Marilyn Monroe has been pushed back to 2022, and I'm just going to read a little bit about this because it's coming in from Variety.
Before you do, Stephen, would you think that individual there could look like that individual there?
No.
Not a fucking chance.
That is Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, that's Marilyn Monroe, yeah.
So I would say no.
That's what I'm saying. Could she look like her?
No, because she doesn't look anything like her.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So we will get to that.
And that is the
John,
magic of costume and set design.
I actually thought that was the photo you were getting to.
We'll get to it.
No, that's Marilyn Monroe.
That's definitely Marilyn Monroe, yeah.
But Variety reports that Blonde's release date has been pushed back from this fall to 2022 with no release given for the delay. No reason, given for the delay. Though no exact date has been set, it's safe to assume Netflix will position it for the next year's awards season in order to properly campaign de Armas and Dominic for the Best Actress and Best Director at the Oscars 2022 Oscars, that is. The decision also allows the streaming giant to focus more on its already crowded field of award contenders this year, including Adam McKay's star-studied black comedy Don't Look Up and the Benedict Cumberbatch-led drama The Power of the Dog. John,
The Power of the Dog, that sounds very interesting, doesn't it?
John, you were talking about the actress, in what was the film called again?
Knives Out.
Knives Out, yeah.
Absolute standout performance.
Yeah.
Unbelievable performance. And that was in a cast. It was incredible with Michael Shannon, Toni Collette, Christopher Plummer, Chris Evans.
More household names, aren't they, really?
Oh, incredible names, Stephen. There was a couple others in there whose names elude me.
Lee Curtis, yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis. There was another guy. There was a guy, he's a great actor. I'm blanking on his name. I don't know why, but I can see his face.
You've got Don Johnson.
That was him.
You've got Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon?
Yeah.
Stephen, an incredible cast, and she was arguably the best performer out of them all. And of course, it was her who, and spoiler alert, who was inadvertently involved in the death. She didn't really kill him, but she did. I think she fucked up and gave him too much of a drug or something. I've not seen it in a while, but she was the sort of one, and it was Chris Evans who masterminded it. He was a sort of puppet master, wanted his inheritance from his billionaire. So she was incredible in the movie. So it doesn't surprise me Netflix are positioning her into next year's award season and try to get her a Best Actress, nab a Best Actress, but potentially nomination, maybe even win.
Yeah.
I don't know who the Dominic is. I'll have to search up the Dominic. The name
McKay.
I don't get it first. Dominic McKay. No, the actual Best Actor. Oh, Best Director. Dominic. So Stephen, it's looking like a very interesting. We know that biopics. They said Dominic McKay, didn't they, in another movie? Let's bring this up, Stephen. Let's get to it, man. Unfucking believable.
Yeah,
look at that.
Yeah.
That's a totally different human being on the right hand side.
I can safely say that's not Marilyn Monroe.
It's not, but they've done something with the eyes. There's prosthetics on the eyes to get that sort of sleepy eyelid.
It's that kind of puffy look,
Puffy look, she up because she was perpetually out of fucking nut and drugs, wasn't she? Really, she was on painkillers or something. She got done in, didn't she? Let's be honest. It was all covered up. It was the Kennedys. Allegedly.
I hope this is the film.
Allegedly. I must say, allegedly. I don't want the FBI knocking on my door. Unless it's Fox Mulder, in which case I wouldn't mind because I love him. I'd get his autograph. I can't even speak. I can't speak tonight. His autograph. Stephen, this is absolutely incredible. This is what I'm saying. It gives me excitement for the actual set design, the costume design, the whole overall vibe of this movie. If they can turn that on the left look, I'd argue that on the left's a much better looking woman than that on the right. That's the first thing I'm saying.
Look at the jaw structure though. It's completely different.
Completely different. And we actually have another image where it's actually Marilyn herself compared to Ana de Armas.
Yeah, look at that.
And it is absolutely fucking incredible.
Yeah,
Stephen, this is why we can't give quite enough respect to the people involved in the process behind movies, costume design and makeup. This is why they deserve, and this is ultimately why when they try to put the technical categories behind closed doors and not shine a light on it, put all the focus on the actors, the directors, the main events at these sort of award ceremonies, the Oscars in particular, why it shouldn't happen. Because these are the unsung heroes behind the scenes who create these movies and make them work. If you take away the costume designers, the makeup artists, the movies would fucking bomb. It wouldn't work. They have literally turned her into a different human being there. So that gets me excited, man. You need to get the aesthetics right for a Marilyn Monroe movie. It's all about her. We know she's a good actor. So I've got high excitement, anticipation for this movie, and looking forward to seeing it next year.
John, I know you were kind of half joking, what I say, about a possible synopsis for this biopic, but it's a very interesting.
It's famous,
but it's a very interesting story. Yeah, and I'm very intrigued to see how they play this out. I hope they don't do the whole airbrushing over certain things.
Well, they did that with obviously Bohemian Rhapsody, and that kind of bugged me. It was still a good film, Bohemian Rhapsody, for different reasons, but I really wanted to see the true story. You're never going to get that. Walk the Line, John. They did the same with the Johnny Cash film. Drug and stuff like that.
It was a good film. Yeah. It was a really good film, a great performance by Joaquin Phoenix, but it kind of skimmed over the surface of what he was really like.
He was dark.
If you've ever read any of the books or seen the documentaries, it was kind of a bit more light and fluffy. That's
always the difficulty, Stephen, when you're doing actual biopic work and you're dealing with a real individual who's touched real lives, and family members are still alive to this day. You need to get the balance just right, but you need to be true to the story. And she clearly had an affair with fucking John F. Kennedy. She had an affair with the guy. It's well written, and she was trying to blackmail him, and then she gets found dead in a fucking hotel room. Come on, they're not going to go into that, of course they're not, but I'm sure they have to touch on the affair. They have to state, look, it's there. Everyone knows about it now. Comment from Ember Power. This is honestly impressive. Hope they get the proper praise for this. So do I. And look, this is why when people slag off Netflix and streaming services, it's not really justified. It is justified in the sense that sometimes the movies are crap and they don't give enough spotlight to perhaps independent filmmakers on their service. It's all catered to eyeballs, getting the most eyeballs, popular sort of movies. But they do churn out movies like this, Stephen, and Roma. Yeah. And what was that one with the Coen brothers?
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Scruggs. There's some great movies go out.
The Grey Man as well.
The Grey Man, The Irishman.
The Irishman, yeah.
They do put out some great movies, and they've got some great talent working for them now. They're able to attract it because they've established themselves. And this is another example. Great talent. Ana de Armas, one of the best actors in the game just now, portraying one of the most iconic showbiz sort of figures in the 20th century. So if they get it right, Stephen, it's a potential Oscar winning movie. If they get it wrong, no one will even give a fuck about it anyway, so they can't really lose, because they'll just say that 25-30 million people watched it regardless and fudge the numbers. And that's ultimately why Steven Spielberg fucking detests Netflix, and it's only his production company that signed the deal with him, not him. That's his main gripe, Stephen. They fudge the numbers. They can't get an insight into how well the movie's performing. Whereas with other companies, they have to put it in the box office, and it's very transparent. They can see how the movies operate and whether.
Any concerns on why it's been delayed though?
No, Stephen. I think it's pretty clear they've got a stacked award season this year. Some big names: Benedict Cumberbatch, and you said Don Mackay, was it? That's not our chief executive. It's a director, isn't it, Stephen?
That's why I said it, John.
That's me just picking on this, Stephen. 10 minutes later, I'm quite a smart guy, but sometimes I just fucking
I can't remember his name, John. Dominic something.
Dominic, they've got a packed award season this year, so they're just delaying this one so they can have their cake and eat it.
Well done.
And hope it's a chocolate cake. I had one last night. The beauty of cycling.
John, I would prefer a strudel, but anyway, that's what.
Well, I can make you a strudel, Steve, but you don't like.
I don't like.
You don't like sultanas.
I don't like sultanas, John. Unfortunately, but everything else about it, I love. But
I'll make you one without
the reason I mentioned that is because the next person we're talking about is Christoph Waltz, and the film he was in.
Like my graphics bar, I couldn't quite fit Christoph Waltz and Quentin Tarantino in, so I said Tarantino had to peak Landa. For Inglorious Basterds. We'll get into this, Stephen.
Tarantino wouldn't let Christoph Waltz rehearse with Inglorious Basterds cast. Writer-director Quentin Tarantino reveals that he wanted Christoph Waltz to rehearse without the rest of the cast for Inglorious Basterds. This is coming from Screen Rant. He's an incredible character. I loved that film, John, because of him.
We'll get into that, Steve.
Brad Pitt as well was fantastic.
Huge Tarantino fan. This fucking film has my favourite Tarantino character of all time. A couple of them.
But during an interview with The Moment podcast via IndieWire, Tarantino talked about the antagonist. He was so impressed by Waltz in the role, he changed the way that he prepped the cast. The filmmaker wanted the cast to be surprised by Waltz and what he would be bringing to the role. Which the actor agreed to. Well, he did. While
he did speak French.
Yeah, while he did the big script reading, he was told to tone down his performance for that particular instance, and that he could only rehearse with Denise Menochet. Don't know, it's a French name, who plays French farmer. Oh, he was great, John. I liked that French farmer.
Yeah,
right at the very beginning.
Was good, wasn't he?
And Perrier Lafpadit,
the big pipe.
Yeah, in the opening scene. Oh, what a tense scene it was as well.
Stephen set the tone for a fucking incredible movie.
But Tarantino said this, John. It's quite a big.
It is,
and I'm not even going to try and attempt to do a Tarantino. The guy's got such a unique way of speaking.
Oh yeah.
John, I was watching him just before I read this. I was watching him on
such a unique brain.
What chat show was it? No, I think it might have been. I don't know if it was Conan he was on, but he was reading a synopsis from like old video covers.
Yeah,
and he knew the film. He knew the film, and he actually said one, and everyone thought he got it wrong, but it was actually a title change as a European title or something like that. He knew the actual original title of the film.
Stephen, the fucking guy is a human encyclopedia of film. There's not a film he's not watched. He's unreal.
Yeah,
and it's all analog. He doesn't believe in digital. He's got actual reels. Original reels of films. He's a fucking incredible guy.
Yeah, he's a walking, talking IMDb. He really is.
Before you get into it, Stephen Ember said so unsettling in that film. So did an amazing job. It's safe to say, just unreal. What
it was
a guy.
Fantastic, John. I don't know. Was that my introduction to Christoph Waltz? It might have been.
I think it was my introduction, Stephen. He obviously starred in The Hateful Eight, or not The Hateful Eight, Django.
Django, yeah.
And
it was good in that as well.
Unbelievable in that.
Yeah.
But Stephen, just an incredible actor. He can speak 4 or 5 languages.
Yeah,
I think he can speak Italian, French, German. He's German, of course. English. Incredible guy.
He's just got a presence about him, you know. And
for such a diminutive guy, he's not the tallest chap. I think he's about 5'7" or something, 5'6", but such a big presence in that movie. That says
I just remember everything. That glass of milk scene. That's the opening scene, isn't it? He's drinking the milk.
Stephen. He's joking around at the start of that movie. I'll go back to White Shot again because we're going to be speaking about this a while. I'm absolutely certain. I fucking love Tarantino and I love that character. He sets the tone for the entire movie because this guy could have been a joke. He was joking around at the start. He's bringing out his big pipe, but then he changes. I think he says, I think they're speaking in French and the actual Jewish people can understand it, so he says speak in English.
Yeah.
And that the way he changes the tone immediately, you're like, this guy's menacing. This guy is not to be fucking trifled with. He is dangerous.
But then you got to commend the I've already forgot the chap's name. Menoli, yeah. Menochet, yeah.
Menochet.
His there's a moment where the Waltz character is saying to him, "This is your last chance," basically. You know,
he's going to kill him anyway.
Yeah,
there's
and you could see the fear in that actor's eyes.
The Nazis would have fucking killed him anyway.
Yeah, it was a great performance, wasn't it? But Tarantino, he said this, John. I got together with Christoph before we got to the big script reading with the cast. I told him I'm not doing this to be perverse. Game playing. Everybody is so curious about who is playing Hans Landa. I don't want you to be bad at the script reading, but I want you to hold a lot back. I do not want them to think that they are getting a glimpse of who you really are going to be. On a scale of 1 to 10, be a 6. Be good enough, just good enough. I do not want you to be in a competition with anybody, and if you are in competition, then lose. I don't want them to know what you have, or for them to have a handle.
That's
on
almost
Landa.
method on the actual cast. Method on the cast.
In that same vein, with the exception of the French farmer, I don't want you rehearsing with the other actors before filming. I don't want Diane Kruger or Brad Pitt to know your gunslinging abilities until the cameras are rolling. John, this is what makes this film great.
Because they've not got a clue.
Yeah.
When he unleashes,
you can see that unsettling in the actors that are opposite him.
You know what this puts me in mind of? Michael Caine on the actual set of The Dark Knight. The first time he sees Heath Ledger in costume is the party sequence when he comes through the actual elevator. Yeah. And he's fucking terrified of him.
Yep.
He's actually terrified because he's not seen him
that reaction,
in character.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. They've held back on the actual Landa character until he's on the set.
John, I'm always
you're getting that real sort of
kind of off topic, but not really. I'm almost convinced they did that with the Vidicen cast as well, with the Tiger Pringle video.
Oh, Stephen,
that reaction was so genuine, wasn't it?
That was definite. Stephen, I've never laughed that much in my life, because that Arthur Tiger Pringle character was such a stuffy, uptight, sort of posh pompous bastard.
Yeah.
So when that came out, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I was fucking... And Stephen, I was actually already laughing at the Black Stallion running through the field, and then it cuts to that.
It was the reaction from the cast, though, wasn't it? You know?
It was brilliant. They were rolling around.
I don't think they knew that was coming.
Stephen, that's the best way to do it. You get an authentic response from the cast, and then it's real. You can't beat that. And obviously we know Tarantino goes in for that anyway. He's choking people the fuck out on his sets, so you can get the actual real authentic choking. He's a weird guy, but he gets his performances. Stephen Wonder in this movie, man, unbelievable. To me, the greatest Tarantino character ever. And I think the man himself agrees. I think before that it may have been the bride.
Yeah.
But what's she called? Has she actually got a name now, isn't it? Is it Beth?
It's Beatrix Kiddo.
Beatrix.
Yeah.
It was her before, because actually Kevin did get to ask Tarantino at the Glasgow Film Theatre what his favourite character was, and I think he answered the bride.
Yeah.
But that was before Inglorious Basterds.
That's right.
I've since read an article and he says it's now Landa. And I think it's because of that. He's so fucking good. He actually surprised Tarantino with his greatness. And what he brought to that role, it's one of the most iconic character performances I think I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh, definitely.
Just so menacing, as Ember Power does say in the comments. Unbelievable. Speaking multiple languages, always there. And the scene that always gets me, Stephen, in this movie, it's not the bit at the end where he's actually trying to plead and play a game and get them to, obviously, so he's a victor and he gets scalped. It's the actual moment where he walks into the restaurant, and I think it's Goebbels. Landa, I can't even say his fucking name. It's shouting on him, and he comes down and sits next to the Diane Kruger character.
Yeah.
And he's playing that game of cat and mouse with her. Her heart's beating.
Yep.
And he knows it's her. And you know he knows it's her. He's doing all the symbolism. He's asking, no, wait for the cream, because it's actually got pig sort of lard in it or something, strudel. He's playing with her. He knows she's a Jew.
Yeah.
He knows it's the little girl who get away, and he's stamping out the actual cigarette on the cream. It's all symbolic. It's a classic Tarantino moment.
That's
all
symbolism
dialogue.
for the sort of the cigarette stubbing moment always annoyed me, because of, you know, they lived large, you know, the Nazis, you know, they didn't go hungry, you know,
and the people actually did.
Yeah, and he's able to just, you know, use it as an ashtray, the rest of the food, that kind of thing.
Stephen,
those little details.
Stephen, you know I'm fucking obsessed with World War II. I've read numerous books, D-Day books, Band of Brother books, Dick Winters, Rise and Fall of the Third fucking Reich.
Yeah.
And the fat bastard that was Hermann Göring, the actual German population were running out of, what would you call it, grain, during the middle of 42 or something like that. They were having to heavily ration them. This fat bastard was eating multiple meals, steaks. So you're absolutely right. He knew his history. You know, Tarantino, he goes deep into these things. He knows what the actual, what do you call it? There's a name for it. I don't know. There's just greed. He knew the greed of the opulence of that regime and what they were up to, and he really just put it all into this one character. He could have made it Hitler. Yeah, but he didn't. He made up this sort of menacing character, and really there was multiple people like that in that party. I haven't read the books on it. Multiple hideous figures.
It was probably a combination of different characters.
It was, it's probably like Heydrich and Himmler and all of that, little weeds all put together, but it was such a compelling character. Memorable, and I'm glad he got his comeuppance.
Yeah,
in the end.
That was great.
That's an amazing performance.
It's one of the things about the later Tarantino films, he does that. He gives a lot of evil people their comeuppance, as we saw in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well.
Stephen, is he your favourite Tarantino character? Because also we've had a lot of good ones.
Yeah, I don't really think about it too much, because it's almost like asking me my favourite Beatles song, and I kind of don't really think about it too much, because I enjoy it all. But and that's not fence sitting. I find it very hard. You know, as each Tarantino film comes out, there's characters in that I love.
Yeah.
But as far as memorable goes, I would say he's probably one of the most memorable. Probably up there with Samuel Jackson from Pulp Fiction.
Jules Winfield, is it Jules Winfield? It is, isn't it? I always used to forget his name.
Yeah.
Stephen, you can't rule out Michael Fassbender in this movie. There's some amazing characters in this movie.
It's a
Brad
great cast,
Diane Kruger.
Yep.
Fucking your man. He's a real Daniel Brühl.
Yeah.
What's his name in that again? I'm a real Rudy.
Yeah.
Rudy Zoller or something
Daniel
like
Brühl's very young in it.
And
you've also got what was he called from the Rod Taylor? He was playing Winston Churchill as well from the Time Machine. And Michael Myers playing Mike Myers was the chap that was
sort of
that bouncing off.
Yeah, the broker for the sort of undercover operation. Yeah. Michael Fassbender, one of the great scenes in the movie was that that sort of multiple,
so many tense scenes in that
unbelievable
film.
movie, Stephen. I need to go and watch it again.
I remember getting it. I got it in Blu-ray one Christmas when it just came out, and I watched it at New Year and enjoyed it Loved
what
it.
I do say though is it always winds me up as an E in the Bastards.
There is a reason for that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Tarantino's explained that one. I'm not sure what the reason was.
I don't think it's
that.
profanity reasons, because Basterds used in multiple child fucking novels and stuff like that as well, but I think it's probably just deliberate. There'll be a reason for it.
Yeah,
there always is.
But we're going to move on, John, to our penultimate topic, and it is the Flash movie set photos of our best look at Batman yet. This is coming in from Screen Rant via Twitter here in Glasgow. A stunning image from the set of Andy Muschietti and Ezra Miller's The Flash standalone offers the best look at Batman riding his Bat-cycle.
Bicycle. Bat-cycle.
Now, this was shared on Twitter by Andy Faulkner as a shot of Batman riding in his Bat-cycle during the exterior filming of The Flash in Glasgow. Onlookers can be seen outside of the closed-off part of the street with their cameras out to record their sightings. No context, however, was given regarding the image. Nevertheless, it's such a great shot that allows fans to better dissect the version of the Bat of Gotham's cool new ride and costume for the Flash movie. And this was the tweet.
We can't see the actual image, but I've seen it.
This is the tweet. Oi, Batman, where's your wee pal? Excuse me, Batman, do you know where Robin is? Only in Glasgow, hashtag. I'm sure they'll edit it out of the soundtrack. I hope they don't.
Wee pal, Batman.
But John, only in Glasgow, that would happen. I mean, Tadger. But John, I think...
I tell you, man, you mentioned Tadger there. As you know, I do play Dead by Daylight, and I play it really late hours, and I'm playing with American people, and I like to put in the chat at the end of it, you fucking Tadger. I don't swear, I just say, nice camping Tadger and stuff like that. I know they can't understand Tadger, so I just put it in there. Nice little bit of, profanity, Tadger.
John, we've both seen the bike anyway.
Yeah,
I know you can't
pick
it up, but we have seen it.
I'll try and find an image if you
want.
I
think most people have seen it, John.
Yeah.
It put me in mind I was about to say it put me in mind of Ray, and I was about to say her surname, and I don't like saying her surname, so I'm not going to say her surname. Ray Palpatine. It put me in mind of her land speeder, that kind of elongated sort of vehicle that she had. John, I always think they can't really top the one from the Dark Knight trilogy.
No,
I love that one, but this one,
the little actual back.
The back wheel, but this one looks amazing. And I have seen the close-up shots of the chap in the suit as well.
I'm going to screw this when I do this.
It's obviously not Ben Affleck because he's partying with J-Lo just now, isn't he? I think it's
it is.
Look at that. Wow.
The image isn't great, but it'll just have to do. It's so long.
Yep.
I don't know if I think that's actually Batman on it because he's got a fucking motorcycle helmet, but needless to say, Batman, the stuntman has been on it, and thankfully looks like the Batman, unlike the Matt Reeves stuntman who looks like the Batflick Batman. It's actually Robert Pattinson. He's not got that fucking jaw.
Maybe it's the same guy.
Filmed in Glasgow, Stephen.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
It's the same guy. They're all being filmed in Glasgow.
Don't want to bury another Batman, especially with that jaw.
You should just make him
He's
Batman.
Like Desperate Dan.
It is, isn't it, man? No, put me in mind of Stephen. Do you remember what the name of it? I'll never get it. The football comic from the 90s and 80s.
Roy the Rovers.
That jaw.
Yeah.
It's like fucking...
it's not natural.
Puts me in mind of Kang the Conqueror from the comics.
Yeah.
It's like fucking... unreal. I've not got a great jaw, that's why I grow a beard out, so I don't look like a fucking balloon. But needless I do, because I've no hair. Casper. I'll bring Casper up while we're actually talking. To compare. Stephen, it is... I'm actually searching it. There is actually been videos circulating around the actual of the bike try to do a turn in the street, and needless to say it can't do it.
John, have you noticed those are fake wheels? They've actually got real wheels underneath.
They've got real wheels,
and it's like single track.
Very difficult to make a turn in it, Stephen. I'm trying desperately to get a Casper the Ghost so I can compare it to myself. I am Casper the Ghost. I really am. Bring it up, come on. We've got a fucking live show going on here. I don't want to linger on it too long.
We're talking about Casper, so let's bring up.
Yeah, let's bring up. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about Batman, but there's me. Let's move the mic out of the way.
John, I loved that film. I loved the film with Eric Idle and Christina Ricci. And Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman was in it as well, I forgot. It was a good film. Yeah.
It was a good film, Stephen. From my childhood.
Yeah.
And it's funnily enough, I used to love Casper, and now I am Casper. Much like I used to believe in Santa, and then I lost that, and now I am Santa. Santa does exist, incidentally. That's a lie. He exists in the North Pole. He's got Rudolph and all of his reindeers. Just in case. I love Casper as well. I was obsessed with it. I want to say it was circa 95, 96, around about that time, and I was about 7 or 8. Well, I was about 7 if it was 96. Fucking loved it. It's a great movie. I don't know how we've got into Casper off of sort of Batman, but we have, and it's because of me. Fully recovered from the coronavirus vaccine and just gibbing one load of shit again. Stephen, I feel for you having to share the same space as me tonight.
Why is that?
I'm on fucking high sugar drinks. Yeah. I've come straight off a cycle before I've done the show. I was zapped to energy, and now I've got an abundance of energy, and I'm just fucking gibbering. But yeah, Stephen, it's a cool bat cycle. It's great to have these movies filmed in Glasgow again. We've had a multitude of great movies in Glasgow recently. And it's just brilliant to see that this economy is getting boosted, and that thankfully the American cities are charging way too fucking much to film. $250,000 a day or something in San Francisco, and they're coming over here and we're getting to see these productions.
Best part about it is, John, they don't have to send over the main stars because it's all action shots.
That's because of course Harrison Ford got injured.
Yeah,
he was
down
in London.
Hobbs and Shaw as well, didn't they? I think Idris Elba was in George Square though. To be fair.
He was. Yeah, because Idris is from Britain, so that's absolutely fine.
Just up the road.
We've had a lot of great movies shooting here over the last 10 years, and it's brilliant to see these big stars. Brad Pitt's been in the city. He loves Glasgow. He's been in Glasgow a lot. Apparently had a little fling with a Glaswegian.
Brad? No, I don't believe that.
Apparently, Stephen, she wasn't that great looking.
Yeah, he's clean cut, isn't he?
It was back in the 90s, Stephen. I think he was a single guy.
A singleton, yeah.
A singleton, yeah. He's not a single. Well, he is single. He is single. Just now. Well, I don't know where we're going with this, Stephen.
I know that. Want to talk about Casper again?
Casper, yeah. Great little ghost.
Yeah, friendly ghost. But John, we'll move on. That's what we'll do. We'll dig ourselves out a hole. And we'll talk about our final topic. And it's all about Telepathy Vijay and Pooja Hegde starrer Beast begin third schedule of shoot in Chennai.
Yes.
We were talking about this very topic not that long ago. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, where they were talking about the first single they've already done.
Was that the actual dance? They were starting the shoot off of a dance, weren't they?
And then they said they're going to pick up on the third shooting, and that's what they're doing now. Third schedule shoot, that is. But this is coming in from Pink Villa. Now there's a couple of little inaccuracies which will
and you get tanned for it.
Yeah, I'm not getting tanned for it because I didn't play this, and that's why I'm saying Pink Villa.
Did you see Collywood instead of Tollywood?
Yeah, it says it here. Yeah, it says it. It says it at the bottom of the comments in this actual website, John. Telepathy Vijay is one of the biggest and popular stars who enjoys a massive fan base all over the South, following the success of Master 2021.
Just the South.
Vijay is now gearing up for another film, Beast, this year. Every single update of him going viral in minutes and reaching millions of people. We know that. The title and first look of the much-awaited project of Beast was unveiled recently and took the internet by storm. Post-lockdown, the team of Beast wrapped up 2 schedules.
They're a lockdown in India, that's great.
And is currently busy with the third schedule. The team of Beast includes Telepathy Vijay and Pooja Hegde. Has begun filming for the third schedule in Chennai. The third schedule is said to be the short one as they are progressing at a brisk phase. Previously they wrapped 2 schedules, one in Russia and another in Chennai. Yep, Adobe, you can piss off because I'm trying to read this article.
Is that premium?
Yeah, it does it all the time, John. Yeah. So the third schedule is said to be a short one. Yep, I've just read that. Thanks for that, Adobe. Progressing at a brisk phase. It's not a glitch in the Matrix. I've just lost my place. Previously, they wrapped 2 schedules, one in Russia and another in Chennai. Pooja Hegde has confirmed the news by sharing a picture from the set on her Instagram story, but later deleted it. She's obviously been told to. She's had her wrist slapped. Vijay is reportedly essaying the role of a con agent, and the film is reported to be filmed with the action and romance. Beast is helmed by Nelson Dilip Kumar. Pooja Hegde is the leading lady of the film, which also marks her debut in Tollywood. Wrong. And
I know that.
Yogi Babu, Shine, Tom Chacko, VTV, Ganesh and Aparna Das will be seen in key roles. Anirudh Ravi Chander is rendering the tunes under the Sun Pictures banner. Kalanthe Maran is bankrolling Beast. The film is slated to release in theatres next year for Pongal, January 14th, 2022.
Not long to go, Stephen.
We've not got long to go, John. And as the person says at the bottom of the comments, firstly, this is Collywood, not Tollywood. Secondly, not the debut film for Pooja Hegde. She already done one Tamil film years back.
That's you told. You bitches, get it right. If you're going to write articles on Indian cinema, you need to get the actual industry.
We're getting close, John. We're getting close to this film now.
We are getting close, Stephen. It's not long to go. What is that? 5 months? 5.5 months? So, Stephen, look, I'm really looking forward to it. It's the first time...
Trailer.
Yeah.
We want a trailer.
Obviously, we were kind of involved in Master, the build-up to Master, but that was the first time we'd really experienced the semi-hysteria surrounding a new telepathy release. This is the first time...
Anticipation was already done, John.
Yeah, it was done when we actually get into it. So, Stephen, having gone down the route of watching multiple telepathy movies, now being involved in a new movie coming out, it's going to be great to experience the sort of what goes with it. Trailers coming out, just building up the anticipation, actually getting to watch a movie, potentially in a theatre. By that point, we should be back to full normality over here, at least. And if they release it in a theatre, I'm absolutely going to go and watch it in a theatre.
That would be some experience.
Because that's the way to experience it. So, Stephen, it's just good to see that the movie's actually back on course, because obviously it did get delayed a couple of times. I think it was rain. Potentially delayed it in Georgia. Yeah. And then it also came over here. It was in the middle of the pandemic for India. Really bad with the Delta variant, and we know now that that's highly contagious. I think they're saying it's like chicken pox now. So that was absolutely ravaging multiple parts of India. Obviously, he made the correct decision to not go up to the north and do shots up there. I think 2 cities up in the north. Yeah. Condensed it all into Chennai. Great human being, as we spoke about before. Protecting his cast, his crew, just people in general. And now it's back on track. They're going to rattle through it. And Stephen, the sooner it gets finished, the sooner they've got all the footage, the sooner they can really ramp up the promotion of this movie, get it finished as well. Because look, we spoke to Ruth many times, and he's prolific at getting movies out. Because we just watched Master, there was already balls rolling in terms of getting into this one. Yeah, that's right. And the sooner this is done, he can move into 66 and start working with, I think it's a Telugu sort of star and a Telugu director they're trying to get him to collaborate with. So, I just want to see this guy putting out more movies, man. I think he's a great actor, he's a great personality. I just want to see more song and dance numbers from him. So the sooner this gets done, the better for me. And I can't wait to see that one started the actual schedule with Pooja, because we've watched him. I'm sure we've done reactions with him and Pooja Hegde before. I'm absolutely certain. We've seen Samantha obviously, but I'm pretty damn sure Pooja Hegde, we've seen videos, and we know that he can do it. So really looking forward to this sort of concept, seeing the proper motion poster. We got a fan one that was decent, and it wasn't real. Yeah. Want to see it? Looking forward to it.
Can't wait.
But Steve, is that us done?
We're done.
Is that us done? We're done. Tripping out my nut tonight. ODing on sugar, as opposed to a vaccine, now, which is infinitesimally better, let me tell you. Yeah. I don't get the shivering, I don't get the fever, I don't get the fatigue. So I'm a happy chappy.
John, you certainly had the fatigue at the the tail end of that
review. Yeah,
Friday,
I was doing it off a cliff. Went off a cliff. I was starting to sit like this because I was shivering.
It's horrendous.
Just sit like this and I'll be fine. I'll not shiver. I was starting to get the sort of not good,
prickly. Yeah, don't
want it. Yeah, thankfully it's over. I'm back to a happier state.
Back with a bang.
Back with a bang. What's your? It's such a little fucking skid mark of a football commentator. Club commentator over here. A non-entity, we'll not give him airtime. He uses a lot of big fancy words to make him sound intelligent, but you just know, like Alex Salmond, a sort of prominent politician over here who did the same. He's not really that intelligent. So what is your thoughts on the topics we touched upon on the show tonight? What do you make about Matt Damon's comments? Make of Matt Damon's comments, even speak proper English, John. If you're going to slag other people off, at least fucking speak it proper yourself. What do you make of Matt Damon's comments on superhero movies on streaming? What do you make about the other topics we touched upon? Batman in Glasgow. Happy's Beast. I'm bringing up the topic.
Casper.
Armas, Marilyn Monroe biopic pushed.
Inglorious Basterds.
And Inglorious Basterds. Linda. Christoph Waltz being held back from the cast, and how that framed his performance brilliantly. If you've got anything to say about any of those topics we touched upon, you can comment down below in the comment section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and hit the follow button over on Twitch if you also want to see more content like this. And let's not forget about Twitch, and you'll get more content if that's what you do. That's certainly how you enable it. But look, until then, me and Stephen are done. I'm just going to start just speaking until I run out of breath. Bye bye, guys. Tell your sister she was right. Tell your sister she was right. Bye, guys. Whoa. We're having a while here. Bye, guys. Bye, Ruth. Thank you for coming in. And Ember. Appreciate it. Bye, guys.